Matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is Madden NFL 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Oakland Raiders taking on the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team...
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And this one complete to Julius Thomas. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So the Raiders backed up here to begin their first drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And while he won't admit it because his team lost the game, he had some fun in the last one.
He threw for over 400 yards.
I mean, there's no getting around it. As a QB, yeah, okay. We lost the game, but boy, that felt good flinging it around. Now he's got to figure out how to do the exact same thing, yet turn it into a win.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And incomplete to open things up. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage. Yeah, the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And one of my favorite players in the league is Devontae Freeman. 29 rushing touchdowns the last 3 years. Knows how to put the ball in the end zone. Can catch it out of the backfield and plays with a passion that few players in the league can match.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you...
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's pile this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Play action now. Rivers. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you...
And the Raiders have got him. Mario Addison in there to sack him. And that is 10 for him now on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 11. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down. But look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? On second down, here's Carr. And he whips that one incomplete there. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up 4th. They'll begin here with Blunt. And he'll work his way forward up to the 22. And there are the numbers a week ago for LeGarrette Blunt. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Rivers, and going deep for Hill, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cardinals. Tyreek Hill, 78 yards, and the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And now Oakland ready to take the field.
This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 8 catches, 67 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. On third down, Devontae Freeman. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On second down, Freeman. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now they'll throw with Carr. And that's complete. It sends. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats. Throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch. But still, no yardage. Okay.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
They stopped them shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. Flashed a nifty move, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Devontae Freeman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score.
Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. They go play action. Rivers finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. 1 quarter in the books. It's the Cardinals off to the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Blount. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. T.J. Carey right there in coverage.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Throwing, Rivers. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. Ryan Fitzpatrick, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. So a fake field goal run in for the touchdown. That can be a huge momentum swing.
And that's got to drive a defensive coach and a special teams coach crazy. Someone else running it in on a fake field goal when you're supposed to be alert for it. Terrific play by the offense, not so much by the defense.
And now here come the Raiders. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Carr. Sanders has it over the middle. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's going to be met at about
at the 43. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Carr to throw on second down. Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The reception good for 7. It's third down. On third down, it's Freeman. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Freeman with a fast feed. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Carr going to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Love the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Phillip Rivers, he is the focal point of our players' spotlight now. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. No gain on the play there, second down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
LeGarrette Blount. He's at the 30, 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. LeGarrette Blount, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here's Carr to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by Patrick Robinson.
Now, that's absolutely terrific technique right there by the corner. Exhibit A. Zone coverage, knew where his man was in relation to the football at all times, and made a nice play.
Carr now to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And the Raiders pick it up. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget Paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a 1st down.
Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them...
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are back within a score.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. A minute 59 to go in the first half. More from the desert after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. He gets it to Thomas. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And to the left side here, Wilson. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Ready.
To the air again here, Rivers. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up second down. No, third down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Freeman again. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the third quarter in Carson. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. From the gun, Rivers. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the
Still
jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Shotgun now for Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sims. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's 2nd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere he looked,
they recover.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now Carr throwing on second down. His throw incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. Third down here.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. A handoff. Devontae Freeman looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The drive starts with a handoff to Blow. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Rivers now on second down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead, or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And now running right through it. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Carr. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Carr. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
He finds Beckham complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with the flag down. Well, this could set up a very interesting decision.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Call it a gain of 9 there, and it puts him in better shape here for 2nd and goal. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Following the penalty, Lynch. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Sims, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough, they couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
2nd down, Rivers. Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Now blown. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Play fake. Rivers. He's airing it out for Williams. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the 1st, but instead it's 3rd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride is kicked in. Made a terrific play.
To throw on 3rd down. Carr. And that will be incomplete as well. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. So out now come the Cardinals. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right?
And got his man complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A huge play there for Arizona. And even 40 yards. Now the big play pushes them all the way out to the 40 now for 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Blunt. And an alley to run. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, here's Blunt. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Throwing now is Carr. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's taken down inside the 30. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sims. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Sims. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. He's back to throw. And his pass incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Back to throw. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Devontae Freeman in the final minute. And the Raiders move back within a couple of the lead.
The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
False start, offense.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Well, that certainly comes under the heading of critical mistake, doesn't it, partner? You can't have that. You got a chance to tie the ball game from the 2-yard line. Now you got to go back to the 7-yard line and take the same chance.
And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Back out for another drive comes LeGarrette Blount. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
I have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll run again with Blount. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. So the defense helping them out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Back to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Wide open receiver complete.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first. And now down to 14 as he spikes it to stop the clock. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Now Carr swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Cardinals, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.